Well, shall we jump into the headlines? Not the headlines, but let's dig deep into the stories in the world of rock news this morning on ClassX. Well, there's a new documentary, actually a number of them, but one involving the singer-songwriter Janis Ian. Remember her? Set to hit theaters in March. It's called Janis Ian, Breaking Silence. Follows the artist from her teen years when she was part of the 1960s Greenwich Village music scene to international stardom in the 70s thanks to her Grammy-winning hit at 17. But did you know she had another song much earlier than that? And I can't think of the name of it. I think it was like 1968. And she had some other tunes, too, that were popular, like Stars and Jessie. They were covered by other artists. She says music is about telling stories. She says that in the trailer, and she says, "This is mine." Janis Ian Breaking Silence will open in theaters on March the 28th. Well, the soundtrack to the new Questlove-directed documentary about funk legend Sly Stone has just been released. Sly Lives, also known as the Burden of Black Genius original motion picture soundtrack, featuring the band's signature hits and 7 unreleased alternative versions. The Sly Lives soundtrack now on streaming services, with the documentary now out on Hulu. And you can get it on CD and LP editions. They will be released on May the 9th and available for pre-order, in fact, right now. Sebastian Bach has released a new video for a track off his most recent solo album, Child Within a Man. The latest clip is for the song called To Live Again. It's a song he co-wrote with Miles Kennedy, who also teamed with Bach for the first song released from the album, which was called What Do I Got to Lose? Now, To Live Again is the closest song to a ballad, he says. I could not be more proud of the song and the video. Child Within the Man was released back in May, and it's Bach's first solo record since 2014's Give 'Em Hell. Billy Idol is excited. You know, he's had quite the career, and it's one that's taken him from his punk roots with Generation X to the news that he's been nominated for the Rock Hall of Fame this year, 2025. He says he's still processing the news. It's a great honor. If I do get to be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, you really get a chance to thank your fans. That's what I like about it. You know, you get a chance to really thank everybody who has supported you through thick and thin. So that's an incredible honor. I mean, I'm knocked out. I'm only just now starting to take it in. You can imagine. You think about all the bands that have waited so many years, like Bad Company, finally get a chance. I certainly hope, even though I've already gotten the news they're not going to include Brian Howe, I sure hope the band acknowledges Brian Howe from the stage, because he, too, was incredible. There's another documentary about John Lennon on the way, and a new trailer for the film has just been released. It's called Borrowed Time, Lennon's Last Decade. It's a British documentary that explores Lennon's post-Beatles career using archival footage and never-before-seen interviews with musicians, journalists, and close friends. There's also archival interviews from Lennon, Yoko, and Paul. But so far, there's no word on when it's going to be released. And we've got the list as we end this thing. We got the list of some of the new music releases coming out next month. It's going to be decidedly a proggy month, if you know what that means, like progressive rock. With new music releases scheduled from Jethro Tull, John Anderson and Yes, Alex Lifeson and Rush, Roger Waters, and Genesis. So it's going to be interesting to hear some of this stuff. Curious Ruminant is the Ian Anderson-led Jethro Tull's third album in 4 years. It's highlighted by a nearly 17-minute epic titled Drink from the Same Well. Waters has added live material to complete a limited edition Super Deluxe 10-disc reissue of the Dark Side of the Moon redo. I don't quite know why. Kind of shoving that thing down our throats. And me personally, I'm kind of like upchucking it. Longtime Yes frontman has also been revisiting some of his former band's best known music in concert. It's heard on John Anderson and the Band Geeks' live Perpetual Change. Yes is releasing a tandem super deluxe edition of 72's breakthrough Close to the Edge that's expanded into a 5-CD LP Blu-ray box set. And some of the other highlights of albums coming. March the 7th, Ace Frehley's now playing a vinyl release. David Bowie's Young Americans, the 50th anniversary half-speed master vinyl reissue. Eric Burden and War, the complete CD collection, production of Todd Rundgren. And Neil Young, Oceanside Countryside, a vinyl release. For the 14th of March, there's one to mention, Ozzy Osbourne with his 18 LP box set. It's called See You on the Other Side, Volume 2.0. Dave Mason, Traffic, Fleetwood Mac, A Shade of Blues, going to be released on the 21st of March with Michael McDonald, Joe Bonamassa, and others. Paul McCartney and Wings, Venus and Mars, the 50th anniversary half-speed master vinyl edition will be released on the 21st. As will be Rick Emmett from Triumph with a new one called 10 Telecaster Tales. And Rush 50, a 4-CD, 7-LP box set, will also be out on the 21st. Looking at the 28th of March, Don Airey from Deep Purple, Pushed to the Edge. Fleetwood Mac releasing a 5-LP clear vinyl reissue box called 1975 to 87. Genesis reissuing The Lamb Lies Down on Broadway, the 50th anniversary super deluxe edition. Heart with their very first vinyl release, they're reissuing it. Pete Townsend, the studio albums, an 8-CD box set. Rick Wakeman with Yes Sonata, and that will be a limited edition green vinyl edition. And Van Halen, live in Dallas, 1991, a double vinyl release on the 28th. And one last one coming April and beyond, the Doobie Brothers finally dropping a new one, Walk This Road, with Mick Fleetwood, Mavis Staples, and some others. And that's your update for today here on ClassX Radio.